Hola everyone! I hope all of you have been enjoying the holiday season. I was fortunate enough to spend it with family and it was a much needed break. Today, I basically want to talk at a very high level about my first year on YouTube and tell you what I plan on doing going forward. After going to the gym this morning, I decided to do some restorative yoga for a change as well right after. And during that session, I was reminded that it's been an incredible year. A year full of community, a year full of some disappointments, and a year full of some incredible blessings. But overall, a year of growth in so many ways. With the recent scare on YouTube regarding all the crypto channels, it really made me start to wonder if putting my energy into this type of channel is the way to go. In fact, the only reason I started this channel was to have a safe place for the community to openly discuss between themselves without fear of getting banished. Never did I imagine the banishing would be done by YouTube. Even though it sounds as though the banishing and the strikes have stopped, and that YouTube has even sent out some apologies, I still don't have a good feeling going forward that this will grow into something larger over the next few months. The powers that be don't want us to be rich. I've seen it in so many industries, and I have my views on that, but I'm not going to discuss them here. I've had to ask myself, do I open a Cocoscope channel? Sadly, the answer is no. I don't want to support a platform that promotes pornography and God knows what else. I do, however, want to support a platform that encourages free speech and privacy with safety in mind. I am looking into a platform in particular that is actually on the blockchain, and many large YouTubers I'm seeing are already moving over there, so I may decide to go that route. This will definitely need some contemplation on my part, which brings me to my next point. You probably don't know this about me, but every year, usually around November, December, I take an entire month off of everything. I take an entire month off of my day-to-day life and go and enjoy a new life. I have been doing this for the last about 5 or 6 years, and it was the best thing I could have ever started for me and my family. I typically go somewhere warm, sunny, beachy, and disconnect from all electronics and really just review my past year and go over things like what was successful, what needs a little bit of tweaking, and listen to my intuition as to what is best for me moving forward in the coming year. While this year has been an extremely busy year for me, not only having YouTube on my plate, but many other private joint ventures, and I haven't had a chance to really disconnect from this matrix as of yet. That is, until now. For the entire month of January, I will be technically on the road and in the air traveling the globe, and especially experiencing life in a whole new way. I will definitely keep my ear to the ground, but I have to say that at least for the first 10 days or so, I will most likely be off the grid completely. But the remaining 20 days, I will start to do some research, put together some content, and really decide what 2020 will bring us. For anything urgent, you guys already know how to reach me via email, but I can't promise anything for the first 10 days as I suspect my reception will be spotty at best. I'm confident that 2020 will include things like CASHFX and me doing some personal trading, but outside of that, it hasn't been decided yet. I already know my review of the year will include this great YouTube community, and I'm grateful how close we've become. If you recall, we started off the year with mindful moments every Sunday, and everyone seemed to enjoy them until I started including the Science of Getting Rich and the other great masters, the oldies but goodies. They're boring, I get it. I eventually decided to stop doing the Sunday videos because of the time and effort it took for the little engagement. But I suspect this may be coming back in about a month, but more towards the grassroots of how I started it. But again, this will be something that I will have to contemplate while I'm away. This year has woken me up to even a darker side of crypto and YouTube. I don't know how many programs I put my money into, testing them out behind the scenes, and then losing them within a day or two. It's hard as a YouTuber. I know you guys constantly want opportunity, but I don't feel comfortable bringing you that opportunity if it hasn't been tested out myself, and understand the inner workings of those platforms before I give them to you. By then, usually, by the time I figure that out, sometimes it's already too late and they've scammed out before bringing it to you, which is obviously a good thing for you. Behind the scenes, I'm always looking for new opportunities. I get lots of emails, and I'm sifting through numerous platforms at one time, and even get emails from devs asking me to do promo videos. I still get them to this day. Don't they get it by now? I will not do promotional videos to support spammy platforms. Even if it's a platform that I think might be good for us to get into, I would never do a promotional video. But on the lighter side of things, we've had some really great platforms that basically exploded on us this year, and we've had some fun giveaways, lots of winners, and overall lots of profits with some of these platforms. What was the most fun and stands out the most for me was sharing the community referral links for Profits Bots for about 4 weeks. It was so fun to help you guys experience what it's like getting referrals. Some of you definitely have some horseshoes you know where, because in a short time you were able to get massive referrals and got your ROI back quickly. It just reinforced how having a YouTube channel and sharing your link can make a huge difference, and I loved sharing that with you. It really warms my heart when you guys reach out and said, I have changed your lives. It is always my hope to make an impact for the better. If we can expand on that going forward with the same rules of engagement, I am confident we can make 2020 an even more amazing year. As I mentioned in an earlier video, it's the time of year when there's many scammy platforms that are out there, and it is the reason why I haven't gone into anything new in the recent weeks. And with us quickly approaching the new year and new beginnings, I figured it was a good time to go over the rules of engagement to remind everybody of the simple things I remind myself before going into any platform. Yes, I might play it really conservative and safe compared to others, but it's what my gut tells me to do. And playing safe and conservative this year has allowed me to turn my small investments, like the average guy or gal, into about just over $6,000 in returns. And again, it's small comparatively to some other YouTubers, but I'm good with that. It's at least turning my small stacks into larger stacks, and that has always been my aim. Now, some of you may say that that's not good at all, but really, for the amount of risk that I took, I'd say it's okay. It's not that I'm looking to build mass amounts of money on YouTube. For me, it's about building a safe community and not getting screwed again, as I did so many times in the past, and just trying to turn my small stacks into larger stacks, which I succeeded at this year, I'm happy with. So let's quickly go over these rules of engagement and remind ourselves for the coming year of what to keep at the forefront of our minds when something new comes along. Now remember, I am not a financial advisor. You need to do your own research and apply these rules of engagement and listen to your gut, all of the things that we've taught over the years, to really go into a platform and be successful. But it is possible. So if you recall, back in March, I think it was, this entire community deposited into Automatic Bitcoin. We thought we had a trusted developer. Yeah, right. Are there any really out there? They're so hard to come by. I also recall this was one of my biggest blooper causing platforms I ever got into. I always had a hard time pronouncing Automatic Bitcoin. And in one of my videos in particular, I am sure we all had a good laugh, because I know I did. Luckily today, I had no problem in pronouncing it. But let's go ahead and just replay the rules of engagement from back in the Automatic Bitcoin days. Crazy to do it at this point. This is not looking good, so I wouldn't invest any more in here. We can't get any of our money out at this point. Some of us got it out last night. I wasn't able to. So the purpose of today's video is to share with you my new rules of engagement going forward. These are the rules that I follow, or at least have tried my best to follow over the last few months. And of course, again, I'm not telling you what to do. My new rules of engagement are: 1. I will only jump into something when I have decided what I want to jump into. Meaning, I don't jump in out of fear of missing out, and I do my own research. 2. I only throw in what I'm comfortable in losing. Of course, my intention is to win, but these platforms' hypes are risky, so I can't assume that they're going to win. I only invest what I can afford to lose. It's so important. 3. If I reinvest, I know that I'm taking an even larger risk. 4. I will always strive to take out my initial investment, or deposit, let's call it, because I use the term investment very loosely, and I realize that. Investments are normally long-term. These are deposits. They're like I'm throwing money into a slot machine at a local casino and hoping to hear those bells go off. The thing that keeps me going is that I have won at slot machines, but in reality, I have lost way more times than I've won at those slot machines. But that one win can usually outweigh all the losses that I've ever had. Number 5. From this day forward, I have decided to look at these investments as fun, and that one of these deposits may hit big, just like that slot machine. You never know. You know, maybe we even have to look at it this way. Do we buy lotto tickets each week? I know I do, hoping that it's going to be a winner. Well, of course we do. If it's a dud and none of the numbers were drawn, do we feel like it's the end of the world? Well, I hope not, because then again, you have invested too much. Now, I know this message isn't for everyone. Most people gamble responsibly, but it can be a real problem for some. And in that case, I would suggest you not deposit or invest, whatever you want to call it, into any of these platforms. We need to play smart. So my promise to myself is that from this day forward, my deposits are like buying lottery tickets. I have invested what I know I can afford to lose, and I will, of course, set the intention of winning. That brings me to my point number 6. I will set an intention of winning. I will get in early, not FOMO, into older platforms that have been around for a while, and patiently sit in the woods waiting for that next opportunity. But once I jump in, I will set an intention of winning. Intention is so powerful, especially if we collectively set an intention, it can do wonders. The Oracle has taught us and stressed to us so many of these rules, and I've listened all along, but I didn't take complete action on all of them. And it wasn't until I started realizing after every platform what my mistake was, even though I knew his rules. So that's why I'm stressing today how important these rules are. You need to take them to heart. We need to play safe, and we can win. So my next rule is, if any of these rules don't sit well for me for a particular platform, I stay out. And finally, if I break any of my own rules for any reason, good or bad, I only have me to blame if something goes wrong. You know, it's been a fairly good run lately. I can't complain about anything. In fact, I'm grateful for these opportunities that we have had. The difference between what I used to do and what I do now are all the points that I made earlier. It took a while to really adopt these simple but true habits, and of course, I'm not perfect, but they do help. And I have to say, it's most important to get in early into a platform. That for sure is a game changer. Of course, if they last long enough, then we can really have a game changer happen for us. It's basically why I say I'm in profit with some of these, because I got in early. And that was the difference this time. So let's all set the intention that something good is coming our way, and it will bring us abundance beyond our wildest imagination. If you have studied universal energies, you already know that this universe has more than enough abundance for everyone. Yes, each and every one of us. We just need to tap into it. It's definitely going to be a journey ahead. Oh, and before I go, I was going to get into some of the platforms that I'm still into, like BitShell and Doubly and EXP Asset, but... Okay, I want to stop that here. We basically get the idea, and honestly, I hate hearing my voice. This last part of the video just reminded me of EXP Asset. I invested, or should I say I deposited, about just over $1,500. I think it was $1,533, some weird number in that platform. And it was one of the largest risks I took in this space, and it paid off. Not by a large amount, but it helped me turn my small stacks into larger stacks for sure. The trick here was I got in on day one. Again, rules of engagement, getting in early. And that was only because the Oracle gave me a private heads up via text. I knew I needed to take that risk, and you know when your gut screams at you to jump in. Well, it paid off, and that platform lasted for, if I recall correctly, about 8 months, a pretty good run. So based on the rules of engagement from my past 3 years of experience, I know they're a game changer. They're not perfect because some platforms only last a week or even a couple of days, but with the combination of testing behind the scenes, getting into a platform early, taking uncalculated risks on some, it all seems to work out in the end. And if we listen to our gut and follow these rules, we have a better chance of being successful. I want to thank you for an incredible year of learning and growing, and I'm wishing you all a happy new year, and may 2020 bring you abundance beyond your wildest dreams. Remember to take some time for you and raise a glass to celebrate 2019, and let's welcome in 2020. Have a blessed day, everyone, and until next time, hasta luego. Love you guys, and we'll see you next year.